We've got the new Hyundai Santa Fe, and it comes with 3 new engines.
It's amazing. Just 2 years ago, they brought out this latest Santa Fe, and 2 years later, it comes with a whole bunch of new stuff, like a all-new interior. Let's check it out. So Hyundai is continuously pushing down on the gas with improvements to their vehicles.
Yep.
So this only came out 2 years ago, and already they've done so much to it. And it starts with the engines. What's under the hood?
A 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. It's got 277 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. The base model engine is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, also an 8-speed automatic transmission, 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque.
And there's a hybrid option, a 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder. It gets a 6-speed automatic, but it's paired with a 1.49 kilowatt-hour battery, 226 total horsepower, and 258 pound-feet of torque. So I went to the launch of the Santa Fe 2 years ago. Crazy. And here they are 2 years later with 3 new powertrains, including a new 8-speed wet dual-clutch transmission. That's the mechanical. We'll talk about the outside in a second. And then they throw in a brand new interior.
It's unbelievable what Hyundai has done. You see it with Kia and you see it with Genesis. It is quite something.
It's relentless. So on that subject, before we get into all of that, let's run through what are the key standard features.
The Santa Fe base model comes with an 8-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, cloth heated front seats, a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel, LED headlights, body color exterior mirrors, 18-inch alloy wheels, a temporary compact spare tire, forward collision warning, and lane keep assist.
So they've got this push-button transmission here. What do I have to put it in?
You have to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit the notification bell, it really supports the channel. You'll be notified when all the videos drop, and then you can watch them. We put out 5 videos a week. You got to stick with the channel.
So every Wednesday afternoon and every Saturday morning, we do the couple car reviews. That's what we're doing right now. On Monday evenings, we do the live show. Any questions you have about cars?
And on Tuesday, we do a comparison review.
And then on Friday, it's their Survivor Series, some cool old collectible car. But the only way you'll find out is if you hit the notification bell. And while you're at it, follow along on Instagram, Motormouth_Andrea, to get a sneak peek on what we're shooting, when the videos are going to drop. And also, for me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. So yeah, the 2019 Santa Fe came out on this platform, and here we are, just 2 model years later, and boom, they blow it up. What did they do on the outside?
Well, you know what? I think it looks better than ever. It has a bigger grille. It's got like a diamond-shaped design in it. The headlights look cooler. They kind of had this T-shaped. It has a bit of a Palisade vibe to me. Don't you think, Zach?
Yeah, it looks like a mini Palisade in some ways. And I think that this split daytime running light headlamp combination is now a new trend we're seeing in the auto industry. And they kind of did that a long time ago also with Kona. So most of the updates are on the front, and the back you see new lights, what have you. What did you want to say about the chrome?
Oh, I love the chrome. I think it is just such a nice accent throughout the vehicle. This red looks really good with the chrome, but you know what? Any color will look good with it.
So who takes a car that's only been out for 2 years, rips out the interior, and goes with a brand new interior?
Koreans do it.
The Koreans do it. I saw this one time before on a Sorento launch. I said to them, I just went on a launch, and here you've got a brand new interior. So this looks like a captain's control center for a plane, really.
Well, I really like it. I think it's neat and organized. It's wonderful for the driver. There is lots of buttons. You can hit your heated seats. You've got your heated steering wheel here. It's a floating console, so lots of storage underneath. And these seats are wonderful. They heat up in the back, on your bum. It's amazing for somebody like me who runs cold.
I think you're hot. This thing has loads of buttons. As we get into a movement where everything is in the screen, hello Tesla, I love having tactile buttons. I want to go to the radio, I hit a button. I want to turn the heat on, I hit a button. I like that. Now, what about these buttons? We talked about, we put it in subscribe a moment ago, but you don't like push button transmissions, and you're seeming to give this a pass.
I'm giving this a pass. I really like a center console shifter myself. I don't know. This is just really well organized here that I think I kind of like it. What I would love to see is on the Nissan Rogue or the Outlander, it has that little shifter. That would be just perfect here, but it's not the case, and I really like how well it's organized.
So they seem to have gone up market with the Santa Fe on this calligraphy trim.
Yeah.
What do you get on this that you don't get on the others?
Well, you get the bigger screen, the 10.25 inch screen instead of an 8 inch. You get the 12.3 digital driver display. And these are showstoppers in here, but you only get this on the top model, and the top model gets a little bit pricey.
So apparently on a train somewhere is the new Tucson, and it's coming our way, Andrea, in the next couple of weeks. Can't wait to drive that. They have made the Tucson bigger. And I think that gives them room now to move this more up market.
Yeah, could be. I mean, it seems that way when it comes to the price. We're going to get into that in a little bit with our hot topic. So I think the best value trim on this Santa Fe would be the preferred trim. I would add the Trend package for $2,100 because I want the panoramic sunroof, the leather seating services.
You get the remote release for the second row seats.
And the LED tail lights. So these things are all great. So I would put that as the best value trim.
And what does that come in roughly
That
at?
comes out over $39,000.
So it seems to me that they're pushing Santa Fe upscale. That's coming up in our hot topic. But first, we have to get to your questions and coffee.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Wow, they added the GV80 engine to the Santa Fe. Theoretically, I would have gone with the 1.6T hybrid if the 2-liter turbo were still the upgrade engine, but not sure now. Curious what you'd consider now given the upgrade to the 2.5T, but similar pricing.
My head's spinning with all those.
I
So
know.
basically what you're saying is, if the old engine was still around, you would get the hybrid. But now you're considering this. All right,
Yes.
So what do you think?
So we haven't driven the hybrid yet, so we don't know what it feels like. However, a follower did try out the Tucson hybrid, and she said it was smooth as silk and she loved it. So I think that's positive. However, this engine is terrific.
We get it in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
the hybrid and the Tucson. So stay tuned for that if you're not in a rush.
How's the rear legroom? We have 2 very tall granddaughters. It's fantastic.
Huge.
Here's a good way
It would also
to put
take
it.
tall grandsons.
Yes, grandsons as well. Here's a good example. The Sorento, which is a 7-passenger vehicle, this is 15 millimeters shorter
Overall.
in length. Yeah, overall than the Sorento, and the Sorento has 7 seats.
The wheelbase is 50 millimeters shorter than the Sorento, but Andrea mentioned it has 7 seats. There's loads. I'm showing you video of me in the back seat.
Yeah.
I'm not a teenage girl, but that's good.
Yeah, it's got a lot of space. It looks great. The new engines sound fun. How is the resale value? In the past, you could pick up for a steal with few kilometers on the clock. Well, I went with Car Edge. I did a little bit of research, and the Kia Santa Fe actually loses 49% of its resale value after 5 years.
So
now, compared
basically
to
half.
Yeah. And compared to the Toyota RAV4, it loses 36%.
What about a CRV?
And the CRV loses 38%. So those two definitely have better resale value than the Santa Fe.
They've earned it.
Okay, next up, thanks for posting this. I have been convincing myself to go for the Santa Fe, but I'm not sure about the reliability of this vehicle. Some of the reports mention that the engine has had problems catching fire. Please share your opinion. It would be highly appreciated. Well, this one, as far as I understand, does not.
Is not on fire.
No, it has no issues with that. You know, JD Power gives the Santa Fe an 83 out of 100 for dependability.
This engine's only been out for a year in all of the Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia products. So what can we say other than it's a brand new engine? We'll have to wait and see. If you want to get a question in, you can follow Andrea. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And because you hear the music, it's time for Nightlife. We keep one question back from Question Coffee and Cars and expand on it. It's our hot topic. What's it this week, Andrea?
I love the new styling. Do you think that this is a realistic competitor, even a replacement to some luxury SUVs?
Well, Hyundai is certainly charging premium car money for this at $47,500 for a Hyundai Santa Fe. Almost 50 grand. Are they kidding?
Well, first off, let's look at the positive. I think the fit and finish in here is gorgeous. You get tons of features in the top model. You will be impressed with it. The only problem is you can pick up a Mercedes-Benz GLC base model. We all know you have to add packages to it, but that's $49,900.
A Q5 is 46. How much is an XT5 from Cadillac?
A Cadillac XT5 is just over $44,000 for the base model. So that's a big difference. And Zach and I were talking, you could pick up a fully loaded Q3 for under 50.
Yeah, for the same price as this, fully loaded Q3.
So you wonder, how is this going to do priced so high? I mean, you can get a Toyota RAV4 for less, you can get a CR-V for less, you can get a Subaru for less.
You can get every other brand sells a compact SUV for less than this top trim.
Even the Sorento is priced quite high. It's about the same as this Santa Fe, but it is a 7-seater for the top model. We just recently drove the Toyota RAV4 gas version, and this is so much better. It's refined. It has a quiet cabin. The RAV4 is quite loud.
Yeah, it's amazing the difference. Now, while we're talking about competitors, what else can you buy?
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
First up is the all-new Nissan Rogue. It is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine and a CVT. It has 181 horsepower and a starting price of almost $31,000 for all-wheel drive.
Next up is the Toyota RAV4. It has a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 203 horsepower, and a starting price of $30,690 for all-wheel drive.
Next is the Subaru Forester. You guessed it, it's got a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine with a CVT, 182 horsepower, and a starting price of almost $29,000.
And our final competitor is the Honda CR-V with a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine matched with a CVT. It has 190 horsepower and a starting price of just over $34,000 for all-wheel drive. So there are 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Now, Andrea, on these exact same streets, we drove the Sorento. This shares the platform with the Sorento. Same engine, same transmission. It drives differently.
It's almost like it's tuned differently. It's tuned more like the GV80. It's the exact same engine, but it feels more refined and smooth, doesn't it?
It just feels like it's got more punch.
Yeah.
It might have been something was missing on the Kia. I don't know. All we can do is base it on the vehicles we drove.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a lot of people wanting to know how much this is and also the hybrid, right?
Yes. Let's get into the price and then we can chat about the hybrid. The Santa Fe Essential Trim front-wheel drive is just over $31,000. All-wheel drive is $33,399. And the Ultimate Calligraphy, which we are testing, is $47,499. And the base model hybrid starts at $39,299. Here's the fuel economy. The 2.5-liter turbocharged engine gets 11 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 8.5 on the highway. That's 22 miles per gallon city and 28 miles per gallon highway. The 2.5-liter 4-cylinder gets 10.6 liters per 100 kilometers, 9.3 liters on the highway. That's 22 miles per gallon city and 25 miles per gallon highway. So when it comes to fuel economy with the hybrid, this one is quite good. It gets 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, but when you compare it to the RAV4, the tried and true hybrid system, it gets 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city.
That's the one to beat, and they haven't done it, but I'm guessing we have to wait until we get it.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit more spirited than the RAV4. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to see. I look forward to getting it. We should be getting it soon.
So you really like this console setup. It does remind me of an aircraft center console in a cockpit. I think that's pretty cool. My favorite thing is the space in the cargo area is huge. Unfortunately, you give up a spare tire to get all of the extra storage underneath. I think that's a missed opportunity.
I think that the second row seating is really big. When I got in the back, I thought, wow, this is really amazing. And you can understand why, because it is based on the Sorento platform, which is a 7-seater. I also really like this wireless charger. You just stick your phone in and it kind of suctions it and it sits there nicely and just charges it up. Usually you see like a flat charger, right?
GM has had that for years.
Right. Well, it's the first time I've seen it in a Hyundai, so I'm going to give them props for it. All I can say is I love it. Hyundai nailed it with this Santa Fe.
Even without the regular shifter?
I think I just might be swayed on this one, but only this one.
This top model, in my opinion, is kind of pricing out a lot of people. I wish they offered some of these features on lower trims, but overall, Hyundai does it again. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.